One. Hi there, this is Dr. Andrea for Spinal Health and Wellness, and today I have the honor of speaking with Jill Panunto. I think I got it right.
Yeah.
A local doula who's also the chapter leader of ICAN of Delaware. I'm very excited today to speak to her because I know little to nothing about ICAN, and I hear it's a wonderful organization. You're doing really great things around Delaware, and I believe nationally too, or internationally.
International.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, first off, the big question is, well, welcome. Finally, we got to do this today. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
The big question is really, what is ICAN? What's the mission, and what do people need to know about ICAN? What does it stand for?
Sure. So ICAN, ICAN, it means the International Cesarean Awareness Network. The mission of the organization is to prevent or reduce preventable cesareans through education.
Yeah.
We also offer support for cesarean recovery, and a good chunk of it is advocacy for vaginal birth after cesarean, which is also called a VBAC. So you'll hear me say VBAC a lot.
Nice, thank you.
That's the mission of ICAN. There are chapters all across the nation. There are chapters internationally. I'm the only chapter in Delaware right now, but we hope to hold meetings both upstate and downstate. We hold monthly meetings. They're
Good.
free. They usually cover various topics from cesarean recovery, how to build your best birth team. Family-centered cesareans are big right now. So we like to bring up these different topics at our meetings. We also offer lots of educational resources. People can contact us for anything that they may need, from
Nice.
cesareans to VBACs.
Sounds like a great organization. Do you think
Yeah.
maybe you could share with everyone why you're so passionate about it and how your journey and how you got to
Sure.
ICAN?
Sure. So it all kind of started with my first birth. I had my son back in the fall of 2012. He was a cesarean birth. It was I was unprepared for it. I had been planning an unmedicated, non-hospital birth, but ended up having a very long labor and had a cesarean for failure to progress, which is actually pretty common. You may hear a lot of women in the birth world talk about it. Yeah. Almost immediately after his birth, I really wanted to research my options for future pregnancies, future births. Where could I have my next baby? I ran across a friend of mine who I met at the birth center New Moms group, and she and I began researching she's a cesarean mom too, so she and I really began researching our resources, what was available to us now as cesarean moms. And really what was profound in changing my course of life was she spoke with Jen Camel of VBACFacts.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We had Jen come to Delaware and speak to us about VBACs. And it was really eye-opening. I had always, and I'm sure a lot of people have always thought once a cesarean, always a cesarean.
Mm-hmm.
But Jen presented this wonderful case that it's not true. It's a myth. VBAC is a very safe option for many women. So it was actually very exciting to hear that I was a really good candidate. I didn't have any health issues. I had a very normal pregnancy, and it's likely my other pregnancies would be very normal, easy, uncomplicated as well. So when I got pregnant with my second child, I did my research of a lot of area doctors, spoke to a lot of different practitioners, and I found that a lot of the doctors they were VBAC tolerant, but they weren't VBAC supportive.
Okay.
They would take me as their patient so long as I met certain conditions, so long as I gave birth by 40 weeks, that I didn't need an induction, because they were very opposed to inducing VBACs, which is another myth. So I struggled a lot trying to find a practitioner here in Delaware. I ended up going over to Pennsylvania and having my daughter with a doctor in Pennsylvania in a hospital in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
And then a couple years later, I became
Wait, was it a
pregnant.
VBAC?
Oh, it was a VBAC. Yes, it was a
Excellent.
successful
Good for you.
VBAC.
Good for you. I was waiting for the punchline. Was it a
Yeah.
VBAC?
And it was a great experience. I mean, they
Oh,
had
good.
they had a
Good.
very high success rate for VBAC clients. I think it was like at the time 98% success rate. So
Wow.
they
Excellent.
were very supportive, very kind and understanding. And actually, when I got pregnant with my twins 2 years later, that's who I went with again. And I VBAC'd my twin babies with them.
Oh, you're a warrior. Good for
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
You're a princess warrior, Wonder Woman.
But again, I had to do it over the state line in PA,
Oh,
just because I couldn't find anyone here in Delaware who would support the wishes that I wanted. I wanted an unmedicated hospital birth. I wanted to deliver when my body was ready to. I didn't want to be forced into a cesarean before, my body was ready.
oh, that's
So,
beautiful. And was that the accomplished mission with the twins?
yes.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
That's
thank
really
you.
nice to hear. Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a journey, twins and natural, and good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a whole crazy thing in its own. Being
Wow.
pregnant with twins.
Whoa. So I guess my next question kind of was, what's the most rewarding part about being, the leader of the ICAN? And from your journey, it sounds like you have a lot to share with everyone from the cesarean world.
Really, I really enjoy providing women with information and education that really empowers them. I love to see women come into their own power and, realize that they have this innate power within themselves, and being able to give them this information and education, they can communicate. Communication, it seems to be huge. They want to be able to communicate effectively with their partners and their providers and their family. So I really enjoy being able to provide them with that confidence and information.
Well, it sounds like a great option for many women, which brings me into what your other title is. I mentioned it in the intro here, but you are also a doula here in Delaware. So I would just imagine that, it's a really great asset to be involved as a doula with these moms who may be having a cesarean or they would like to have a VBAC, with all your knowledge. Have you noticed that seems to be some of the women seeking you out in the doula world?
Yes, definitely. I'm kind of seem to be the one that gets called a lot if a mom is seeking a VBAC or if she wants information about a certain provider or hospital.
That's great. It sounds like it's something that many women need to know about and hear about because they might not know their options. So what an asset you are to that population here in Delaware. Thank you for doing that work because I do know many women who are looking for that. And I actually know a few that have had VBACs here in Delaware, so that's a good thing as well. So hopefully that's changing for you guys. Is there something new on the books with that?
Well, we're finding a lot of doctors aren't practicing evidence-based care. Like I said, they put stipulations on women to have their babies by a certain time. And our goal at ICAN is to really get information to providers and to consumers, because really it's the consumer that's going to make the changes happen. So yes, we're really trying to get ourselves out there, trying to let people know that this is a viable option for women, as well as know that there's also the support that we provide, the educational support. We do sometimes do birth story circles as well, where we get together and we just sit around and talk.
That's nice.
And really support each other. Yeah, process our births and pregnancies together, and so it'll be good to be getting that out there in the world.
Definitely. So you touched on it a little bit, but I would like to share with everybody where they can find ICAN and what's coming up for them, your events and your workshops. I've heard through the grapevine you're doing some downstate now too. So
yes,
let's get the moms up and downstate with the information and where they can find it.
Sure. So we have a Facebook page. It's ICAN of Delaware. You can find us by searching on Facebook or even
We got
looking
it right
for
there.
us. Yep, looking for us on our tag ICAN of DE. On there, we list our events. We have 2 coming up this month. Next week, we have our first Birth Story Circle meeting downstate in Dover. It will be at the Dover Healthcare Center on South Queen Street.
Excellent.
It sounds like we're going to have a good turnout, and we're just going to, like I said, just kind of sit around, share our stories, offer support to one another, gain support from each other in a safe and confidential space. And then later in the month, February 22nd, which is a Tuesday, we're holding our monthly meeting at the Bear Library.
Okay.
And this topic this month is kind of near and dear to my heart because I have friends who have experienced a cesarean birth after trying for a VBAC. So our topic is how to support those mothers, how to support what they call CBAC, cesarean birth after cesarean. And I'm hoping to get a good turnout for that as well. Some care providers as well as some doulas are going to show up and hopefully we'll be able to get that information out there and support these moms who have a almost greater emotional need.
Now, all that's listed on the Facebook page, or is there the website? Okay. Is there?
It's on the Facebook page.
Okay.
Our chapter has to be running for a few more months before I get a chapter website.
Oh, okay.
Right now, everything's all Facebook.
And then you have an email too, right?
Yes.
They can email you with questions and stuff.
Yep. If anybody needs to get in touch with me, it's right here on the screen, delaware.de@ican/online.org.
Excellent. And I know also, I think I streamed it before, but you also have your website for your doula services and birth services as well. So people can reach out to you that way as well and get information and questions. And, even if they don't need a doula, just reach out to Jill any way you can find her, because especially if you're headed for a C-section or a VBAC or something like that, it's a great support network for all of you ladies out there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Excellent. So any other things to share with us as far as the ICAN world? Or did we pretty much cover mostly what's going on?
I think we pretty much covered everything. Yeah, we've got a few events coming up this summer. We'll have a couple of tables at events.
Okay, I heard there's a vendor fair. Is that in April too?
Yes, there is one in April.
That's downstate too, right?
That one will be downstate.
Okay. And that'll be on the Facebook page as well for people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
Once I get that information up, there'll be another event early May with Postpartum Support International. I think PSI. Yeah. They're creating an event and I'll be having a table with them as well.
Good. So all right, guys, what you want to do is you want to share this page and with your friends or anyone in the birth community who may have experienced cesarean or looking for VBAC or just some more information and support on their birth journey, and attend some of these workshops and support each other on this journey of birth and really the difference in our stories. So Jill can really help you out, and she's building a great network up here. So look her up on Facebook and she'd be happy to help you. Jill, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And you're so welcome, and everything that you're doing for Delaware moms, and best of luck, really. I hope this is a great year for you guys and you grow and can support more women, because there's quite a few cesareans now, and I'm sure that they could use, do you know the percentage? I do not.
I don't know a percentage in Delaware. I think it's like 32%. So it's like it's 1 out of 3 women in Delaware.
Which is pretty high. So you're going to have to provide quite a bit of support over the next few years. So best of luck with all that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
You too. Thank you.